sharing of personal information. And while some of these features are set automatically, Rafferty says it's important parents continually monitor for updates, even after they've set up filters.
Kids are very clever. They find ways to circumvent stuff. Just being aware of what your kids are playing, like sitting with them, watching them what they play, talking with them, because that is going to give you the best idea of what they're exposing themselves to.
Roblox also saying that they understand no system is perfect, and that is why they say they actively collaborate with law enforcement and continue to make improvements on their platform safety tools and restrictions. In Streeterville, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Michelle, thank you. Still to come, the full city council will consider a new curfew for the city.
Celebrating Founders Day at the Peggy Notebart Nature Museum. We have a preview of this weekend's festivities.
And later, new nutrition guidelines.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Perfect.
Okay.
30.
The cost of gun violence goes beyond the pain families face. They're often left paying for the price of hospital bills and funerals. Now there's a push to hold gun manufacturers accountable. Evelyn Holmes has that story.
Gun violence prevention advocates and others gathered here at St. Sabina today to push for a one-of-a-kind law making gun manufacturers pay the cost of the violence and trauma caused by their weapons.
Maybe I wouldn't even be in a situation like this of being able to being shot.
Jason Little knows all too well the true cost of surviving gun violence. He was partially paralyzed and had to learn to walk again after being shot years ago.
Think about if we had this act, how many people wouldn't have got shot.
This morning, the Chicago man joined state lawmakers, trauma doctors, faith leaders, and others at St. Sabina Church who rallied for passage of the Responsibility in Firearm Legislation Act.
The reality and effect of firearms in our state not only creates injury and death, but puts a mental and emotional cost that can never be measured.
The Rifle Act will require firearm manufacturers to be licensed in Illinois and make them pay fees based on gun violence costs in the state. Dr. Anthony Douglas's experience as a trauma surgeon served as a policy framework for the legislation.
I got exhausted with calling time of death on people that looked like me.
Advocates estimate firearm injuries cost Illinois taxpayers and survivors almost $20 billion a year in law enforcement response and recovery expenses.
They're making profit on pain, and we want to make sure that we hold them accountable, take those fees, and fund the things that prevent violence and keep communities safe.
The collected funds would be available for people and their families who've been hurt by guns to cover costs such as medical bills, lost wages, and funerals.
The phone keeps ringing. Families are calling us, not knowing how they're going to bury their children.
Gun rights advocates who oppose the effort say the measure is unconstitutional and unfairly forces manufacturers to take responsibility for crimes. This as the bill makes its way through the state legislature. Supporters say the impact of the passage of the Rifle Act could have some major national implications on gun manufacturers here in Illinois. Reporting from Chicago's South Side, Evelyn Holmes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Evelyn, thank you. The Chicago City Council Committee today approving a revised teen curfew ordinance. It allows Chicago police to impose time and place curfews with 12 hours notice to prevent teen takeovers from happening. This effort was led by Alderman Brian Hopkins. Mayor Brandon Johnson today reiterating he is against it.
What I'm opposed to is giving unilateral control to one entity of government to make a determination in a snap notice that could be a violation to people's civil rights.
A temporary time and place curfew under no circumstances would be imposed unilaterally without the active involvement of the mayor's office.
And the ordinance still needs full city council approval. Well, for nearly 170 years, the Peggy Notebaert Nature Museum has been helping Chicagoans and tourists alike connect with nature. And this weekend, they're going to celebrate their founder.
Joining us now to talk about this big event is Dawn Roberts, Senior Director of Collections at Peggy Notebaert Nature Museum of the Chicago Academy of Sciences. Dawn, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That
pleasure.
Quite the milestone, 169 going on 170 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, in our event this weekend, it's an annual event celebrating the founding of our institution. So the Founders Day event is held this Saturday at the museum, January 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It really celebrates our institution's history. Now, the Chicago Academy of Sciences, our parent institution, it was founded in 1857.
It's incredible.
We have a long, rich history of doing science and education here in Chicago. And as a regional natural history museum, we focus on studying the species and the habitats of Illinois and the Midwest. So this event is really a celebration of all of that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize the connection between that academy and the museum.
Fair enough.
Yeah, one would not happen without the other, and particularly the museum wouldn't exist if the academy wasn't such an important part of it 170 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, the Chicago Academy of Sciences opened Chicago's very first public museum right here in downtown in 1869. Now, you're probably familiar with Chicago's history. We had the Great Chicago Fire, 1871. That actually destroyed our museum building, but we effectively rebuilt. And we had our second museum building in just south of the Lincoln Park Zoo, the Matthew Laughlin Memorial Building. And the Peggy Notebaert Nature Museum is our current museum showcase, opened in 1999. And that's really where we have such our engaging exhibits and educational programs.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of family-friendly events there. So especially this weekend, what can families expect for the Founders Day activities?
Well, we have a lot of fun things planned. This event actually started, like I said, to highlight history, and that's my neck of the woods. So my whole department, the Collections and Archives Department, is going to be showcasing specimens from our collections, highlighting some of the projects that we've been working on, and bringing out some of those specimens, like extinct species, that don't usually get a lot of display time at the museum. Ooh. We also have a scavenger hunt that will take museum visitors through the exhibits, and I'd like to plug a couple of our most recent exhibits that showcase a lot of our museum specimens. That's By a Thread, excuse me, sorry.
Okay. Sure.
Brain blank. By a Thread, which really talks about the biodiversity in Illinois, and then Night Flyers, which has a whole bunch of mounted owl specimens from our collections.
You're an encyclopedia of history. I'm going to have to go rewatch this because I've just learned so much about the history of the Academy and the museum. How can people sign up? Are tickets available? Let us know about that.
Absolutely. Well, tickets are easy to come by. Just go to the museum's website. That's naturemuseum.org. Or you can buy admission tickets right at the door. And admission to this event comes with admission to the museum. So there's no extra charges for that.
Yeah. When I first heard collections, I'm thinking like taxes because it's tax season. And I'm like, wait, no, these are artifacts. Many that you said are not normally visible to the public, so it's going to be a real treat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Distinct. I mean, that intrigued me. I want to see,
And our collections date back to the 1830s.
Man.
So we'll be bringing out some of these. In fact, we also will be bringing out some specimens collected by one of our founding members, Robert Kennicott. And our friends from the Grove, it's a nature center and historic property up in Glenview, they will be there to help us celebrate.
Terrific. Thanks for coming on the program. Always great to have you guys on.
Thank you very much.
So here's some information. Once again, Founders Day celebration at the Peggy Notebaert Museum, Nature Museum, this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. You can find all that information on our website, abc7chicago.com. You can re-listen to this interview as well to learn more about this great event and this great organization.
Sounds wonderful. All right. Well, changing the way Americans eat, the government releases new dietary guidelines with some notable changes.
How's the weather going to be Saturday? Warmer weather, the threat of rain, there's a lot in your AccuWeather forecast. It's next with Heisel. Today, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and U.S. Department of Agriculture released new dietary guidelines. They're similar to past advice, but also include some nods to HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again movement. It urges Americans to prioritize protein and so-called healthy fats and limit their consumption of ultra-processed foods and added sugar. The guidelines also eliminate specific limits on alcohol consumption. The recommendations will now provide the foundation for federal nutrition programs and policies, including the types of food schools serve and what can be purchased on food stamps. And the latest update also includes an image of an inverted food pyramid that puts meats and vegetables in the widest part at the top. It flips a long-standing visual of the American diet and moves away from the circular My Plate that you've seen in recent years.
All right, well, we're going to be seeing a lot more daylight in these next few weeks. I'm excited about that. I mean, it's beautiful right now. There's nice clear skies. We look at Navy Pier.
Yeah, Heisel Martinez with us. We get about, what, 1 to 2 minutes of added daylight every day this month?
Slowly but surely.
Right, chugging along.
Yes, chugging along. We're moving in the right direction now. I've been having to, on my days off, I'm like, at 3:30, I have to walk the dog because it starts to get dark at 4. So 7:19 a.m. is our sunrise tomorrow. 4:38 is our sunset. So Thursday, February 5th, that's 4 weeks away, 7 a.m. sunrise and sunset at 5:12. Finally, a sunset after 5 o'clock. In the next 4 weeks, we gain about 43 minutes of daylight. We will take any daylight that we can get. And yes, slowly approaching that 5 p.m. sunset as we go towards the end of the month. Temperatures right now varying quite a bit. It is 30 degrees in Lake Geneva, 35 in McHenry, Naperville's at 37, and then we have Joliet and Bradley at 44. Some mild air continuing to try to push through our area, and that's why our temperatures don't drop too far overnight tonight. Then tomorrow, we're talking temperatures in the mid-50s. Is it January? It is. 54 degrees, the expected high tomorrow, with some rain moving in the afternoon. It's cloudy on Friday. Temperatures are in the upper 40s to start the day. They're slowly falling. And then Saturday, because our temperatures are falling, we go from rain to snow with temperatures into the mid-30s. So with this rain coming in, we are expecting to get, in some locations, perhaps close to an inch, about half an inch to an inch of rain possible here as we head into Thursday and Thursday night. Here's a look to show you Futurecast. 7 a.m. on Thursday, we are in the low 40s tomorrow morning to start off the day. Then as we head towards 1 o'clock, low to mid 50s. Here comes that rain moving in. We'll get one little round and then a second round as we head towards the afternoon and evening commute with pockets of heavy rain possible. With these pockets of heavy rain, you may hear some mumbles of thunder and we may have some gusty winds as well. 11 p.m. we still have that chance to have a storm or two across the area with temperatures potentially reaching close to 60 degrees at 11 p.m. And then the cold air comes in, but it's not a huge cold blast because take a look, 7 in the morning on Friday, we are still close to 50 degrees, and this is about when we hit our high temperatures, and then we slowly drop. It's not a drastic drop. Notice here by 1 p.m. we are in the low and mid 40s. Your body will feel the difference, but we're not talking 20s as we head into the afternoon, just low 40s to eventually dropping off into the 30s. Saturday morning, we wake up to temperatures in the mid 30s, so that's what I mean. It's not a drastic drop initially, and then eventually we have the chance to have rain and snow in the area throughout the day on Saturday. So Saturday, that was through the morning hours. Here's around noon to show you we still have that rain snow mix, and as that cold air comes in, there could be some flurries around for the Bears game here on Saturday. So that's the tail end of the system as it's trying to move out of here. The chance for some snow showers throughout the game, 29 at kickoff, about 27 by the fourth quarter. Then as we go into Sunday, it's still cold, maybe a few flurries in the morning, and then back up into the 40s by Monday. But yeah, January, 54 degrees to then the 30s.
Not too bad.
Not typical to be in the 50s with like an inch of rain.
I always feel like come February, we're going to be paying for it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll take
After
it.
starting off so snowy.
I know, right? Ton of snow, yeah.
Don't say that, though. Don't put it into
I don't know that I have
existence.
any right. Don't even put it out there. All right, take it back.
All right, well, you can get the latest forecast anytime with the free ABC 7 Chicago News app. Just scan the QR code on your screen for a link to download.
Well, everyone is finding fun ways to celebrate the Bears' return to the NFL playoffs.
So coming up, meet the Bears fan who preaches to crowds of tailgaters before every game.
If you ever tailgated a Chicago Bears game, then you'll find some pretty interesting characters.
Well, as Bears fans gear up for the epic matchup with the arch-rival Packers on Saturday night, our John Garcia introduces us to a legendary tailgater famous for his pregame sermons.
And in the infamous words of the Aces tailgate battle cry, Super Bear, Super Ball!
He is a Bears superfan. Brad Meyer is perhaps best known for his sermons delivered 1 hour before the kickoff of every Bears home game.
Let me hear you, Bear fans! Green Bay sucks! Green Bay sucks!
The tailgate, organized by a group of friends who've been doing it for decades, includes all the essentials. Enough food and drink to satisfy the appetite of even the most ferocious Bears fan. Aside from the sermons, Brad's specialty is the 100 or so Bloody Marys he mixes and pours every tailgate.
One heck of a Bloody Mary. And he brings steaks the size of a toilet seat.
The tailgate has drawn some famous visitors over the years, including Bears chairman George McCaskey and Hall of Famer Richard Dent. Meyer was born a Bears fan and has quite a collection of Bears memorabilia to show off, including a couple of signed footballs from Walter Payton.
It's easy to say one of the greatest Bears legends.
As for the sermons, Brad says he waits until the night before the game to write them so he has the most up-to-date injury and weather reports, and some of them might not necessarily be appropriate in church.
If it's the Packers, we might say Green Bay sucks. Pardon us, Packers, but it is the oldest rivalry in the NFL.
Fellow tailgaters have come to expect Brad's sermons before every game, and Brad pours a lot of thought and research into them. So when he's asked if he's going to continue doing them, the answer is simple.
Well, does a one-legged duck swim in a circle? I think I'll be doing the sermon again this week.
Traditionally, at the end of every sermon, Brad offers a prediction as to the score of the game. And while he's not ready to release that just yet, I can tell you that Brad believes the Bears will be advancing to at least the second round of the playoffs. With Bear Down Brad, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
I love it.
I love me with the hat on, too.
Oh, yeah. They got the old school helmet going.
But, okay, if they win, now John Garcia has to do this
every time
from now on.
It's when they win, Heisel. It's when we
Sorry.
can wheel that out there,
Yeah.
right?
Sorry.
And the old Green, yeah, thank you. The Green Bay sucks chant, it goes everywhere. It doesn't matter what team's playing. It could be the Bulls, could be the Hawks. You could be walking under the tunnel south of the stadium. It's one of my favorite parts, even when they beat us.
I learned that. I was like, everyone's yelling. Wait, why?
Right, just
What?
yell. Just yell. That was funny.
All right, everybody, have a good evening.
We'll be back at 10.